So if you're primarily a solo or delve player, you can actually get the highest gear track piece of gear in this pre-season week of patch 12.1, and not only will you be able to get this high track piece of gear, which is a hero track piece of gear, but doing this will also give you another very easy to obtain champion track piece of gear. And this is pretty easy to complete and will give you a decent head start into gearing for season 1, where you can jump into either all of your delve progression or mythic pluses, or start jumping into raids. And I don't think there's actually any other way to get hero track gear before the actual launch of 12.1, which is next week. So the first thing you need to do is go through the main campaign of 12.1. There's like 4 chapters you have to complete. They don't take a ton of time. Now, once you've gotten into the new zone and then gone into the underground area, which are the vaults of Atalu Tech, you should be able to pick up these 2 quests pretty much right when you get down into the vault. Now, there will be, I think, another chapter of the main campaign that wants you to go complete a dungeon and do some quests after that. You don't have to do this if all you're looking for is the pieces of gear we're going over in this video. Now, once you're down there, you'll find an NPC that gives you 2 quests. He will give you Vault of Atalu Tech, a Toxic Tour, which is a one-time quest, and then he will also have a weekly quest called Purging the Vault. And you want to pick up both of these because if you complete the one-time quest, it will also complete the weekly quest. And all it wants you to do is to just go complete the events that are in this underground zone of the overarching new zone. And specifically for the one-time quest, it wants you to complete a patrol, a strike, an incursion, and an ancient foe. These are like the events you can find down here. A patrol is like kind of a side quest thing that's very easy to solo. A strike seemed to be a bit wider of a zone event. The one I got was follow this card around and defend it, and we had to go through pretty much the entirety of the zone. An incursion seems to be more randomized, smaller objectives that kind of pop up that you go do either solo or with other players that are there, and then defeat an ancient foe. This is kind of like a much stronger rare. It's not exactly a world boss, but it's much stronger than normal rares. And because 12.1 just launched, you'll pretty much always be finding players down here. Now, once you've completed those 4 different pieces of content, because that's what the one-time quest wants you to do, it will also complete your weekly objective. And once you've completed those, you could go turn in the 2 quests, and you will be getting 2 main things you care about. First off is these Venom Cursed Fragments, which you turn 2 of these into a champion track Venom Cursed piece of gear. Now, you can get 3 of these fragments this week, but doing these 2 quests will give you the 2 you need to get a free champion track piece of gear. So that's your first big gear upgrade. The second is going to be your Trove Hunter's Bounty. Now, both of these quests will say it gives you a bounty map, but you can only get 1 per week. And these are the delve maps that once you activate, the next delve you complete will have a juiced up chest at the end that will give you a higher piece of gear. Now, do not use this map until you can make the next delve you complete at least a tier 8. Because if you use this map before you can complete your next delve as a tier 8, you will essentially be wasting the map because you won't get a hero track piece of gear. And because we're in the next major patch, the delve difficulty you could go and do has been reset. So you can start at delve tier 4. You have to go progress through those until you're at least tier 8. Once you can do a tier 8 delve, pop your map, go complete that tier 8 delve, and it does not matter that it's not a bountiful delve. When it comes to these delve bounty maps, they don't have to be in a bountiful delve, but once you complete that tier 8 delve with the bounties map active, it will give you a hero track piece of gear at the end, and you can get pretty lucky and get some of the trinkets that may or may not be strong, or you can get something like a weapon that would be probably the best thing you could get. But there's a hero track piece of gear before the season has even started, which is incredibly strong. Now, you may be wondering, if we're going to be doing a tier 8 delve for this, is it going to be too hard for, say, if you're doing like a DPS spec or something like that? Because these devs are technically on season 2 and we can't even really get a lot of season 2 gear yet. But if you played a lot of delves in season 1, your Valeera will probably be high level. And even more specifically, if you got Valeera to like level 60, which was the cap of season 1, Valeera will basically just solo the delves for you. Valeera at level 60, even even though you probably won't have curios for her anymore. You'll probably get a couple going up to tier 8 delves, but you really won't have any strong curios for her. Even with that, at level 60 or a high level, she still will basically carry you through these delves, even if you're not super highly geared. So a tier 8 delve isn't super difficult when your Valeera is decently leveled up. And also Valeera's level cap has been increased for season 2, and you can do that right now. And I will be having a video within the next couple days. That is the best way to very quickly get Valeera up to the highest cap you can get her to. And because her cap is now over 60, if you didn't play in season 1 or didn't level her up much, that leveling strategy will be able to get her up to that level 60 very, very quickly and easily. But that's pretty much all you need to do to get a very easy piece of champion track gear, and pretty much the only piece of hero track gear you can get in this first week of 12.1. But that's all I want to go over, so thanks for watching.